We are going. Hey, y'all. Hey, hey.
I'm like, introduce us because we always
All right.
forget.
I know. Let's just get straight to it. Hey, you guys. Welcome to the Just Extra podcast with Jackie and Erica. I'm Jackie.
I'm Erica. It's so great to talk to y'all.
We are back for another baby episode. Well, it's not going to be baby. I don't know how long this is going to be.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's going to be a good one. So stick around. We are so cute today. Not like we have never been cute ever before, because always, honey, always. But I'm like, we just did our first guest appearance on another podcast because your girls are already being requested, honey. Okay, we're already lit, baby.
We did. We just did a collab with Sippin' with BBG. So we'll go ahead and tag them once they upload their thing, and we'll go ahead and, post it on our stories. They were really cool. I love their dynamic. It's interesting to see both of them. Like, you can tell, okay, he's a chill.
What role they play.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, you're going to be so it's like this. And me, I'm like, well, let's flow in this direction. No, we're like this. I'm like, okay, that's what we're going to do.
I don't want you to ever feel bossed around by me, Jack. Okay,
Use your
little voice.
If I don't like it, I'm leaving. You already know.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I want you to be able to say that to me for real. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I literally was like, who would have thought that we would be on some guys, some men who are podcasting? I would have never thought I would be on a guy's podcast, It's just so interesting. But it was good. They weren't toxic. Obviously, if we're going to align brands, and they're going to be fine. And so it was a really interesting conversation. It was very interesting to have 4 people on the mic at once, though. That's a lot.
It was. And you know what? That's why we had to meet with them first, because I was just like, okay, let's not make this so what do you bring to the table, Black woman type thing. So they were actually really cool. And honestly, if you listen to their podcast, they had really 2 good episodes where they just talked about, just dating and stuff like that, but also about male camaraderie, which I say over and over again is needed. So again, if you have the time, listen to their collaboration with us and then listen to their podcast.
Yeah. Sometimes I just feel like the patriarchy is already strong, that we don't need to hear from them. But they are pretty balanced viewpoints. I mean, they're still guys, so they're gonna die. But they're still balanced. And to Jackie's point, we definitely did listen to a couple of their podcast episodes to get a good feel and understanding for them. So yeah, when that episode drops, make sure to support. We'll tag them, and then maybe we'll have them over here depending on your feedback. So tell us how y'all thought about that episode.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. This is just producer Jackie right now. I hear clicking. I didn't want to stop you. So whatever you're doing, make sure you watch your headphones. Watch your headphones. I can tell it's always right here. It's your hair.
What am I supposed to do? It's not even touching.
Because I can hear a clicky, clicky, clicky.
Would my hair make it click?
See, when you stop moving, I don't hear it.
I'm not moving. I'm literally sitting like a regular human being, and you're telling me that this is a lot of movement?
No, I can hear the click.
I know, but I don't know why.
I don't know either. It's so weird. Okay, y'all, just bear with us, okay? We're really trying to work this shit out, okay? We actually switched roles. I normally dial in and she's on the line. And then, today we decided to do something a little different just to see how the sound will be when I go ahead and edit the podcast. But yeah. Okay, now let's
let me just take one out and put it on the ground. Is that going to be better or worse? I have no idea. I don't even know where to put it.
Girl, put that right back where he was. just when you do the swishing of the hair,
This makes a lot of noise?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
She's like, stop. Okay, I can't hear it on my side. Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and move into our catch-up segment. I'm going to go ahead and start first. This week was a lot. This was our week 8 for one of my classes. So my classes go into 8-week segments. So we just did our finals. And aside from finals, we had a group presentation, and I had to go into Austin for a conference. So I literally had to drive 2.5 hours to do a conference the next day, which was crazy. But I met up with one of our friends, Ray. She was down there for a conference as well. She's going to be doing Afrotech. So it's actually next week. So we also need to think about doing that too.
Like literally going?
Yes. She was like, come on, girl, I got the hotel room. Let's do it. I was just like, I'm about it, baby.
Listen, she did have to say she had the hotel room, and since she did, I'm about it now too.
I'm very much about it. Okay. So with her, so I met up with her and her coworkers at this Mexican restaurant right before I was leaving. And so I just sat and chatted with them for a little bit. Had a margarita too, then just hauled ass back to Houston. So that was pretty much my week.
Well, I'm so glad that you got to see our friend. I definitely would be about that life. South by Southwest. That's what you said? No, Afrotech?
No, Afrotech.
Because y'all were doing South by Southwest this week. Am I correct?
No, she came to set up for it. So I think it's a situation where the vendors are meeting and just gathering information to prep for next week. So she talked about Rick Ross, Jadakiss, all the, technologically savvy African American people there. It's about to be a vibe. Now,
let's go.
I'm ready.
Okay.
It's going to be one of my early weeks in this class, so I'm down.
Okay, great. Phenomenal.
You're going to drive.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. You don't have to. I was just trying to,
No, that's fair. That's fine. So as it relates to me and what I did, if y'all have been listening to the podcast, I may have mentioned an individual by the name of Brokey, and being ditched, totally was stood up by this man, but that's okay. We have since had a conversation. We've chatted. We're okay. It's not that deep. And, it's deep for me, but it's not about him. So it's fine. We've just been hanging out per use, regular stuff. Is my hair touching? I'm so nervous. So
I'm gonna give you a signal. Okay. When I do like this, I'm like, stop moving.
I really am trying to be so still that I just am like, this is so weird for me, but I will try to remain really still. We were hanging out, and I guess just the meat of this story is really just I'm like, am I being love bombed? Part of me feels like a part of our relationship, our interaction is a little love bomby. Now he's not doing anything extravagant because, again, he does not have the funds. There is no money. There is no finances. He doesn't necessarily even really say the most amazing things all of the time. He's very nice to me. That's fine. But I don't really feel like he's above and beyond with his words, except this weekend.
Okay. I'm not prepared for this, but go ahead.
I don't even know.
No. Set the stage for me. So what time of the day was it? Because that matters too.
Evening. I don't know. 8, 9, 10, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, 9. Let's go with 9. It's in the middle. We was doing our regular activity, which means we was partaking in some libations and whatnot. Okay.
So how do y'all normally do it? How's y'all bowl normally set up?
So normally he gets off of work around the corner from my apartment, and I will scoop him. He gets off maybe 6. I'll scoop him around that time. And we will maybe go somewhere to eat something. We do a lot of Mexican. And so, half of the time I pay, half of the time he pays. So we usually are splitting meals in that regard. Then we come back over here, but I've provided a lot of the liquor. He has picked up like, I don't know, cans from a gas station or something. Like that'll be his like contribution. And, we'll just mix his drink and make it a little stronger. Or, I'll have the liquor sometimes and we just, all that. I've usually picked up some greenery through him. And so like,
Okay. You always got to have those little libations. So,
yeah.
all right. All right.
So
So,
we'll just hang out. We'll watch a movie. We'll watch TV. We usually are actually on my balcony. He loves being outside in the outdoors in the nature. So we'll be out there. So yeah, the scene is that we're chilling, chatting, talking, and I don't even remember the sentence. I don't even remember what even happened. But basically, he was just like, why are you afraid of love? Why are you afraid of like, why is everyone afraid of love? Why are you afraid of love? Like, it's okay to say love. He's like, he's like, he's like, do you love me, little baby? Because if you do, that's okay. I love you. I can say it. I have no problem being like, I love you. Like, that's fine. And I'm
what?
just like, I forgot the entry to this conversation, y'all. I really wish I could provide you more context, but the libations and I already have my memories already weird.
So in the midst of being a little tipsy, both of you are tipsy, I'm assuming. And he was like, "So why are you afraid to like be open with me, baby? Like, I love you. I can say that. What's wrong with that? Like, you don't love me back? What is this? What is this? What
Now, I just was like, I don't know, because I just broke it to him. I was literally laughing because it's a very awkward conversation. So I was laughing, but ultimately I was just like, I mean, I don't think I've ever been like heartbroken. Like, I don't think I've ever been like, oh my gosh, like it's him. And I think I mentioned this when I was talking about being ditched by him, but like, I've never really been like overly invested. Like, I feel like I care about people for sure. And I feel like I want to be cared about. And, I would like to be in a relationship, and I get caught up in feeling away when like it's not going that direction. But like, I don't feel like I have ever been in love with somebody. I think that I have, like I could be like, oh, I love you. And that's fine. But I don't think that I've been like, oh my gosh, I'm in love. And so, he was like, oh, that's very interesting. Like, I don't know, maybe you feel like you just haven't been able to say it, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I think I've never really been like obsessed with people, like for who they are more, instead of like, just like obsessed with them because I appreciate their presence, if that makes sense. Like, I might be a little obsessive because I want to be around people and I want to build community. I want people to like me, but like, I don't know if I've been obsessed with them because I'm like, this is love. And I'm like, it's you, baby. And I want to be around you, So, yeah, we were just having that whole conversation. And like, it was just interesting because, one, he said what he said. And I'm just like, first and foremost, I feel like you're lying. Like, you have to be lying, because if you are in love with me, we've had no conversations about anything. Like, we've had no conversations about us being anything. Like, we have not talked about like a lot of things. We are not in a relationship. He has not had a conversation where he's super curious about me being like exclusive or anything to that regard. Like, we're not having those conversations. So I feel like if you really were like in love with me, we'd be having those conversations. Like, we do hang out. He does ask to see me, he'll check in, but like, it is not giving in love behavior because, again, he's not like obsessed. I think he likes me. I think he cares. I think he thinks I'm adorable and cute. And I think,
why not?
There's benefits to hanging around me, but in love with me, I think he's playing games. He also doesn't ask me any questions about myself often. Like, he occasionally, I'm definitely the one asking the questions, even when there's an opportunity to just simply be like, how about you? I don't know if he takes that often. So I'm just like, logically, I do not think that this man is in love with me. And then also, I know I'm not in love with him. I like our interactions. like what we be.
Did
I like what we be do. Okay, well, decode it. I do like what we be doing together. But I am like, I have mentioned this on the podcast. Like, I don't see him as my husband, and a huge reason as to why I don't see him as my husband is because I do not think that we have the same vision for our lifestyle. And I've asked him about how he envisions his life, like what he's working towards, like. And, he just is like, I just want to be at peace. I just want peace. And, I've tried to dig in and be like, what does it look like when you think about your life in all the regards? Like when you think about your life from like a career perspective, when you think about your life from like a family perspective, when you think about your life from like, I don't know, just financially, like anything really, like I want buckets and categories of like how you envision your life to look. And he could not get that like specific, or at least was just like, I just want to live a peaceful life. Like that's what it means. Like that's what my like a good lifestyle to me would be, one of peace. And so I don't know. I even started giving examples of like what it looks like to me. And one of them was just like, I want to be able to like, and even in our little first episode, I talked about like what I want I just want to travel and live life and be able to come and go and, not be so conscious about like all of the price tags, like realistically, like, but not at the same time because manifestation. So like, I want a bigger lifestyle than the one that I currently live. I feel like I'm going to sneeze.
bless you.
Thank you. I want a bigger lifestyle than the one that I currently live. And I just do not think that we are there. Like, I do not think that we see things the same. He currently does not, I think he's underemployed. You know what I'm saying? Like and I think he feels that way as well. But like, I'm just like, we are not going to be at the same place anytime soon in my eyes to be on the trajectory of some kind of financial level that I feel like I would like to be on. So that's a huge barrier to me in regards to like being like in love with him. And I don't want that to sound like I'm a gold digger, but I'm not. I just want someone who's equally yoked. And I don't want to be resentful for financially providing for him. And I don't know if he's going to get there. I mean, he's already older than me, so I don't know. I do not know. But he's a good time and I enjoy him right now. But yeah, he just literally was like, I'm okay with saying it. Now he has not brought it up since. And it's only been like 36 hours. But
Okay. All right, ma'am. Okay, so let's go ahead. So you've explained why you can't be, with him in a relationship, but do you love him though?
I definitely care for him. I think he has such a little like swan story, like I feel bad for, some of the things that he has mentioned in regards to like his upbringing, his childhood, and like, I do care for him. I enjoy his company. I think he's a good time. I think he's so adorable to look at. I think he's a nice person. I think he definitely has areas of opportunities.
Okay. So with those areas and all of that, so let's take off if the world and money didn't exist, where would you be at right now?
I'd be like, yeah, he's beautiful and he has a nice dick and I enjoy talking to him. And those are very important. Like personality wise, I feel fine. I think he could be a little bit more inclusive. And he's like, okay, Miss DEI. And I'm just like, sometimes I'm just like, be careful about some of the things that you say. And, we have those kinds of conversations, but that's just any person from the hood is how I be feeling sometimes. But like, I still don't like that. And I tell him, and I think he's made progress. Like either he doesn't say certain things around me or he's not as comfortable. Or he'll, whatever. So there's that.
In a perfect world, so yes or no, you cannot
So
talk about in a roundabout way. I'm sorry. If in a perfect world, would you be in a relationship? Yes or no? You can only say yes or no.
Does this perfect world mean that
No.
he has money?
Yes. In a perfect world.
Mm-hmm. What's perfect?
Yes or no?
I don't know what you mean by this question.
Don't play with me right now.
I'm not playing.
If circumstances were where they were supposed to be, you wouldn't have an issue saying I love you too. Correct.
In that moment, I probably would not have still.
Okay.
I think
That's it.
I think I would want a little bit more than I go back to my first points of like
he's not that consistent either, and it's also very much on your time, and he doesn't inquire about you. There's a certain things that you would want to feel in order to feel love or to fully be in love in that way, because he's not delving deep into who Erica is as a person. Y'all are just spending time together. And with time and proximity, anything can grow. That's why you got to kind of control your time with people. That's my granddaddy always said, you could fall in love with a monkey. Okay? So you can fall in love with anything if you're around it long enough.
That's real. That's real. That's real. Yeah.
I wish money wasn't a thing, but we live in America. We live on Earth. Money is a factor. So, y'all, this episode is going to be a little different because, we talk about dating, we talk about our feelings and all of that. And I love that. I love getting into the emo, of course, along with my emo hoe friend that she claims to be.
That's right.
But the thing is, what's important, we got to talk about other things that matter, especially in like the Black community or just being a millennial in general. Money is not where it's the root of all evil. It's the thing that brings us happiness. It's a deciding factor of whether we're going to be with someone or not. Is it not?
I mean, it definitely is, because I'm sitting here telling y'all how I feel about this current situation and the lack of finances and how much that's influencing my situation. And even the ex before this person, like, we didn't make it because, again, finances were not the same, and they were very content with where they were financially, and I was not. So, yeah. For sure. Finances are a huge part of how we make a lot of decisions, not just dating.
Yeah, it's a deciding factor if you're going to, purchase your medication, you're going to get the care you need, are you going to live in a home that you're happy in? It's going to directly affect your mental health one way or another. So, money. You talked about a clip. So this is going to be our extra segment. Take it away, Erica.
Oh, yeah. So Amanda Seales, if y'all are familiar with her, she has a lot of things going for her. Shout out to you. But she has a daily kind of radio show, I believe, the Amanda Seales Show. I don't know what radio station it's on, but there's a podcast version. So I listened to the podcast version. And so one of the segments, she talked about, are you using your college degree? And if you feel like your college degree was worth the investment. And I thought that was a very interesting conversation. She was talking with her, I don't know if they're co-hosts, but just other people who pop in to the show. I don't know what they contribute, but other voices of the show who, responded. And a lot of them were saying, like, somehow I actually do use this degree. One person was like, I'm definitely not using the degree at all in this field of entertainment. Like, I'm not using the degree at all. And then they had callers who called in and, it was very evenly split. But most of the people who did call in about using their degree talked about if they saw it was worth it. And so, to some points, they were saying, yeah, I do understand, the degree definitely got me into doors that I would not be in without the degree. Like, I make connections and relationships while on campus, and, I'm making more money because a lot of employers look for you to have degrees, even if it's not aligned to the job itself, but they need you to have a degree for career like progression, to get into future positions and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, a lot of them were talking about if they were using a degree and if they thought it was worth it. So I thought we could ask each other if you use your degree and if you feel like it is worth the investment.
I'm going to say that my degree, and I'm just going to be frank, the jobs that I ended up taking on, while they said that you needed a college degree, I had coworkers that had high school diplomas. And that really got me because I didn't go into debt to work next to you. I'm sorry. This is just something, and I'm naturally a nice person, and I'm not trying to be a classist or anything like that. But yes, pour that 2 chicks up, baby. 2 chicks sponsor us, okay?
One of these days, thank you.
I know, but here's the thing. I didn't work my ass off for 4 years to go to an institution just to sit next to you, and you decided to just weasel your way to the spot. I don't like that.
I'm confused as to how they got there. Like, if a degree was required.
It's a situation where the people I sat next to, they either just got a promotion or they were grandfathered into a program, or whoever did the interviewing, they were just like, oh, you're qualified enough, and that's good. My thing is this. Stop putting degrees on these, on these job applications, and you're not hiring people with degrees. If anything, you consider a lot of people overqualified. And that's the thing that irritates me. And this is my thing. If you have a college degree, I don't think you should be making no less than $50K at the very least. But unfortunately,
that seems a little too low because these college degrees
you would be surprised.
Expensive.
People who get degrees in, like, for instance, like I got a degree in community health or like in their social work. You're starting off very, very low, like 36, 40K, $23 an hour, $21 an hour, depending on your location. And, you got people that we're in a situation where people are fighting for $15 an hour jobs. And that's another reason why a lot of people, especially in the middle class and lower, who have nothing to do with this financial climate, are like, no, I don't want this person to work at Chick-fil-A and make $15 an hour because that's too close to my degree that I worked too hard for. When in reality, you should be making more anyway. That's just my opinion.
I agree.
But so the last 2 jobs I had, I didn't need my degree, which I was really irritated about. This job here that I have currently, yes, I needed a degree. So I'm very happy that I'm using it. And I feel like I'm making I feel like I've reached my peak as far as how much money I can make with my degree. So that's why I'm going to get a nursing degree to go to the next level. So I feel like I've used it. It's gotten me through some doors. I will say this. My degree has allowed me conversations with people who wanted to go to the school that I went to. I got my first job just because the supervisor, you hear something? What is that noise? Okay, girl. I don't know. I hear this fan situation. I don't know if it's me. I'm going to get irritated if I look back on this episode and something's wrong. If it doesn't come off like that, y'all, I'm sorry. I'm getting irritated right
now. Oh, no.
It stopped. Y'all, bear with me, please. All right. Going back to my original point, because I still remember it. The only reason I got my first job and it paid as much as it did is because the supervisor's son wanted to go to U of I as well. So our interview, we didn't talk anything about the job. We just talked about the school I came from. So in that instance, yes, depending on where you go and what degree you got, it's going to matter.
I'm so sorry. I do not hear a single thing. But we'll keep on keeping on.
It went down. It went down. It stopped. I just don't know why it's making noise like that. It's just so irritating. All right, y'all. For the rest of this episode, if it happens, it happens. And I'm going to stop making faces. It's like every time I'm speaking, see, when I
don't hear it,
it's starting to come out. Okay. All right.
I do not hear it, but hopefully the people are with us. We're actually growing our listenership. I keep looking at our metrics and our analytics, and I'm like, look at these numbers go. Okay.
Right? Like I'm happy.
We have on average 12 listeners. Okay. Our highest episode so far has gotten 10 plays. Okay. Like, I'm like, look at us climb. I'm like, who are these people?
I'm trying.
We now have enough metrics now to see like what our demographics looks like by gender, location. I'm like, this is so cool. So it's okay. And we appreciate y'all staying with us. We would love to hear some words of encouragement. So I guess we'll just drop right now the rate, review, subscribe plug that we be doing. So please tell us what your thoughts are about our podcast, any topics you'd like us to talk about, the quality, any suggestions, advice, because we don't think we know everything. And so we
don't know everything. We're so like, I be getting irritated by the slightest inconvenience when we're recording. Okay, I'll say this. And I'll finish my point so that way when we edit, I can just go ahead and splice these together. I've been in places and spaces where where I got my degree granted me conversations and allowed me to network. As far as the degree goes, I used it, but we've already reached our peak. So that's it.
Yeah. So am I using my college degree? So I got a bachelor's of science in psychology and a bachelor's of arts in communication, and I do human resources. And so a lot of HR professionals actually do have psych and communication degrees, which I did not know. You did not have to major in HR. Anyway, so I think that, yes, I do use my degree. I think about what makes people react certain ways and what makes people and how to deliver messages. And yeah, I definitely think that like I work with people, like advocating for people, all the things in what I do. And so I do think that I use my degree. Do I think it was worth the investment? I do think it was worth the investment. I do not think that I would be making what I make without my college degree. There's no way unless I created something. So hopefully maybe, who knows? But yeah, I do not think that I would be where I am financially without my college degree. My college degree got me into spaces like the Inroads program to have internships to like introduce me to HR as a career field and things like that. Like, I'm very much so grateful. Do I enjoy paying these student loans? That's an absolutely not.
Absolutely not. What I also hate is that they kind of penalize parents who made a way for themselves. They give so many opportunities for people who don't have any money or come from any money. They give them more opportunities for financial aid and scholarships and things like that. But when you have kids that come from parents that actually did a good job as far as making a way for themselves and paying for it, they can automatically assume that they can pay for these $80K, $70K, $50K degrees for this one child.
My father tells me all the time, he's like, I didn't go to school and I have $96,000 left in the student loans. I'm just like, I appreciate you and I'm paying my student loans. So that's really all I have to say. I'm like, I appreciate you. He's like, I understand. Yeah. So like, I get it. Like, it is not cheap. And it's really unfortunate how the system is set up. Other places have free tuition. That is not us, free higher ed. Like, we do not observe that. And it's really unfortunate. And I think it's a way to keep marginalized communities out of certain spaces where we are clearly not wanted. So
it's a business. It's all a business. And you're fine. It's a business. It's all a business. And I think that what I hate the most about for-profit colleges, it really just shouldn't be that much. Here's the thing. You should count the degree with how much money you make. And they do that, but then at the end of the day, they really don't. You know, people with law degrees are in over 100K worth of debt. And somebody with a social work, maybe 30K. Makes sense. But at the same time, if you want to keep it to a 1-to-1 ratio as far as like debt to income, it doesn't make any sense. Because if I'm paying like $500-$600, I don't know, Erica, this may not work.
I can't hear a single thing.
Every time I speak, there's a feedback that wants to raise louder and louder and louder in my ear. I don't know, girl. I'm writing down the time tickers to like cut this shit because I'm getting irritated. Maybe we have.
I mean, we could and go get an espresso martini because that's what it's looking like.
I could definitely.
That's what it's looking like.
That's what I'm fucking with right now. Okay, because we have technical difficulties. Okay, because like Erica, every time I'm speaking, it like there's something.
Can you try regular headphones? Do you think that's what's happening? I don't know if it likes your Bluetooth.
I did that last time when we did our other thing. So
do you need headphones at all? I mean, can you try that route? Because we are halfway through the outline, girl.
That's what I said. Look, I just wrote down when I started tweaking out just now, so I'm gonna remove it during the recording part. Now the YouTube's gonna get all of this. I don't.
We're cute today.
YouTube,
they can look at us.
The YouTube can have it. I'm gonna just say, I'll go back into my statement. Just I don't think that. Never mind. It's starting to do it again.
We could try again tomorrow if you'd like. We can just try.
Because here's the thing: if my shit is gonna, do we need to switch platforms? Discord, Squadcast. Do we need this shit? Here's the thing: I'm gonna go back and listen to this shit, and if it's just doing whatever,
pack a bag, come over, and we'll record in person tomorrow if you want. How do you feel about that? You're like, I don't want to do that, Ish.
No, I mean, I could do it. That's fine. I just okay, because we can just finish, and then I'm gonna listen to it. Okay, and then after that, we can pick it up from here.
Cool.
All right, I'll just finish my point because I'm telling you, every time I talk, it wants to start doing.
I can't hear it, but you got it.
Okay. Yeah, every time I just think about these loans and I think about how much money I will be paying per month until this shit is paid off, it's ridiculous. Thank God I'm doing a program that has many opportunities for loan forgiveness. So I don't feel like all is lost. So for instance, once I get my nursing degree, I can work at a hospital for 2 years and 60% is forgiven if I choose to do that particular program.
60%, I'll take that, Ish.
I definitely won't be making a hell of money right away. I understand the sacrifice that comes with this because I have to choose a hospital that does not pay a lot. But it's good
experience still, and then you could
it's experience
hospitals.
And then 60% loans taken away. So by the time I finish and it cuts off, I'll be a little bit more than when I started. So
I'm like, shoot, in 2 years from now, the podcast is going to take off and you're not even going to need your degree at all. So. Period,
poo. Look, if they ever signed us and they would be like, oh yeah, how much? I'm like, enough to pay off my loans, enough for me to get a good crib and a good piece of
what should we take? What should we take? Because people are signing 7-figure deals out here. So what do you think?
Baby, 7 figures. Yes.
I mean, obviously, but what is minimum? Minimum means I think you could probably get me for 2.5 times what I'm making now.
Okay. You can have me.
But that's my own. So I guess the deal has to be close to at least 800.
Okay. I would say we will do a 2-year deal for 5 million.
You're so funny. I said minimum, girl. Minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum.
No, it's good.
She's honey.
Yeah.
They're like, not with the quality of this show. Okay.
I know. Get y'all audio together first. That's okay. That's why we going to Afrotech, okay, bitch? We going to Afrotech. We gonna find us somebody that's gonna get us together, get us right. Okay, that's gonna
Yeah.
help propel
I'm
us.
so excited. Are we gonna go?
I want to go. I want to
Okay.
network. I want to definitely see who's trying to do what. Let's do it. But yeah, going back into this shit, like at the end of the day, I do feel like the way America's set up is fucked up as far as how they want us to pay back these loans, and they're making us they reward us for they quote unquote reward us for going to these universities, but then we're in so much debt and we have to do so much to stay out of it. It's just ridiculous. And the thing what I hate the most is that they never really taught us financial literacy in certain schools. And I know in Black communities and Black schools, they take out home economics, they take out financial and business courses. Those are the first things to go. So we don't know these things because they're said, okay, we need to focus on the bare basics to make sure we get these grants. We got to make sure these test scores are up to par because the taxes are bringing shit in. So we got to make sure we keep up to par. That's it. And that's why we suffer. Again, this shit is so systematic. I can go on and on and on. But at the end of the day, I do feel like, some degrees are worth it. Some degrees aren't. They're not going to tell you which degrees are actually worth it, though, until you actually get in there.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah, I agree with everything that you just said. I think, of course, the system is rigged. I think that even when you get into certain schools are better than others, right? Certain schools have more resources than others. And then certain schools just have or even, it doesn't even matter like what the school is, but whoever's working at the organization, it matters where they went to school because they will, like you were telling with your story, it's like, oh, hold up. That's a school that I find interesting or I value that school. So, that matters as well. I'll take someone who went to my school over someone who has the actual degree that's needed for this job, right? Like that's how some of these systems are set up. So that's really crazy. I know we wanted to also talk about if we feel like we are where we should be, whatever that means. So maybe we should define that for the folk. But do we feel like we are where we should be for our age? And for anyone who's wondering, we are 12.
Right. I'm going to say this, no. And I'm going to say no because the way they had it set up for us, or the story that was told to us, if you get a job, you get a degree, you'll have enough money, you'll be able to own a home, you'll be able to do these things. I don't think so. Now, I will say this. I've been able to do a lot of things more. I've been able to do more things than my parents has ever even imagined. Been overseas, been able to move, take on new ventures, and still keep a roof over my head. I'm very thankful for that. But I know that there's more out there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that I personally feel at a plateau. Like I think, I graduated like the first 6 years, 7 years, maybe. Hold on. Yeah, because we're almost at 10 years. So the first 6 years after graduation, I was like, I feel really good. I feel pretty good about where I am, but I do feel really stagnant right now. I feel like, dang, I have not been climbing. I have not been climbing the ladder. I've been very much so at a plateau. So I definitely feel away right now. And then that's what I was thinking. I wasn't even thinking about your points of do I own a home? Blah, blah, blah. I mean, I do think about it am I in the apartment of my dreams? Which y'all can, for anyone watching on YouTube, I'm clearly in an apartment. There's a whole refrigerator behind me. This is where I live. I have to remind myself to be grateful to the reasons that you were saying. Like, I am able to afford a home. I'm able to get, decent amount of square footage and, relatively upgraded, life. Like, I can afford a lot of those privileges versus having just like the bare bones, right? In a location that I feel like is a little more central or attractive. Like, but I do complain. Like, I'm just like, oh, there's a crack in the floor. I can see some of this or I can see some of that. Like, I don't like that, the community area, if they could do a little bit more with this and blah, 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 blah. Like, I do complain about some of those things, and I would love for me to be in a little bit more polished of a place. Like, shoot, I have to climb three stories, 3 staircases. Like, I would like an elevator. You know what I'm saying? Like, so no, from some of those places where you say, like, I'm not where I would like to be. I'm not just out here looking at price tags like that. Like, I do, do some fast fashion 80% of the time that I'm shopping. Like, I'm not owning anything of name brand, which is not necessarily a goal of mine, but it'd be nice to just at some point be like, because I can, versus like to really, I don't know, I don't really care that much, but like, it'd be nice to know that I could, even if I don't make the decision to do that. Like, I would love to travel a little bit more. Like, we do some international trips. We're kind of pacing at 1 a year since like 2019 or even before that, if we're counting like Mexico's and things like that, like, which is international because you do still need a passport.
That was a very bougie statement. He's like,
it really was.
If we're counting
I know.
Mexico.
I know, right? But that's the lifestyle I live, hoes. Okay. And so do I feel like this is where I should be at like, 30? Sure. But the fact that I'm starting to be like, do I see, like you're saying, like you went and pursued another degree because you don't see more of a upward trajectory. So I'm like, I'm trying to get a certification to help with that too, so I can continue to move forward. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that.
For me, it was more so I could move up, but I would have to do a lot of ass kissing to do it. And I realized I don't want to do that. I just want to be able to let my work show for itself and make a good minimum salary, for what I do and my certifications. At the end of the day, we're trying to be 6 figures at least by 35. That's the goal for me. So.
I love that. Yeah, I just, I actually don't even want to climb the ladder. Being real. I don't want to climb the ladder. Like, I don't necessarily want to take on more work and responsibilities for a couple $1,000. Like, I don't really want to lose a balance, and I want my life to be more life than work. Like, that to me is balanced. So I don't really want work to take a huge tick just so I can make more money. Like, I don't want that. Not if I don't love what I'm doing. And I'm like, in regards to corporate America, 9 to 5, yeah, I'm okay. Like, I do DEI work. That's about as close to like something that I actually would care about in corporate America as I can get. And so that's great. But do I want to be like accepting calls from the CEO at any point in time? No, I do not want to be like, I'm already global. So I already get up and have 7 a.m. calls or 10 p.m. calls. Like, I already do some of those things occasionally. Like, I don't want it to be like more often. I don't want to have back-to-back meetings so that I have to work during my evenings. Like, I don't want to do that. So once again, we're going to ask for you to rate, review, subscribe to this podcast.
For real, y'all. Like, I'm not going to lie. I don't want to work harder. I just want the type of work that I do match the lifestyle that I desire. I don't want too much. I really don't. It may seem like I do, but because, you got a roof, you got your food, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I want to live in a safe home. I want to live in a workable situation. I don't want to come into the office every day. I do desire to be remote 100% of the time and then to come in and come out when I desire. That's my goal. But the way the world is working, the economy is set up, it's just going to be better for me to make a certain amount of money doing those things.
Yeah, I mean that you started talking about your goals. So I mean I appreciate that. I mean I was talking about my goals too in regards to like not wanting to die at work. Okay, like I don't.
No, there's a lady who lived at my old job who had an aneurysm while she was working
No,
after a very stressful meeting.
I'm
So,
sure.
yeah, I don't want to work myself to death. I'm already working myself to death in school right now, but I'm doing it with the hopes of there's going to be a role out there that I would be glad to take. That's not going to take all of me.
Yeah, no, I mean, for sure. I definitely don't want to be a slave to my desk. Like, I do not want to do that unless I, again, love it. Unless I'm like, this is my joy. This is really where I thrive. Like, literally. Okay. So, yeah, I think that that's a big goal financially is to have my passion be my source of income. But yeah, I mean, I think in regards to financial goals, I was talking about how I wanted to like not have to look at price tags all of the time. Like I want to be able to feel like I can get in a few decent amount of pieces per season. Like, okay, we're going into fall. Like I can get a couple pairs of shoes. I can get a couple pairs of pants, blouses. Like I can get a whole like outfit. Like I haven't had my hair braided on a regular basis because it's so expensive. Like, I'm just tired of making some of those, like, you know, lifestyle sacrifices to just live, you know, normally. Like, I'm not even asking for a ton. Like, I'm like, I don't want to, you know, I would like to be able to do an international trip and pay it off that same year. You know, like right now I'm doing an international trip and it might take me a year and a half to pay it off. And then by that time I'm starting my new trip, my next trip. So I'm not really ever at a zero balance on this credit card. Now I'm not really carrying a ton of credit card debt. So amen, praise him. But like, I just would like to do it more comfortably. I would like to have more local trip, national, what is this called? Domestic travel as well as international travel annually and, you know, take myself out. And I just would need a little bit more money. And if I had a partner and we could split these bills, that would be nice too. Because I could still get a 1-bedroom. If we could get like a 1-bed or a 2-bed and we pay $2,000, I'm still saving money on rent if we split 50-50. So part of the struggle has to do with not being partnered.
I mean, we can go into a whole nother segment of why it's probably not it. Well, and I'm gonna say this: yes, 50% of rent is better than 100% of the time. But I guess what are you actually paying for when you're saving 50%? That's another thing. So, okay, you talked about you're not doing braids, you are not traveling as much. What other sacrifices do you know you realistically have to do?
Girl, I need to stop eating out.
No, for real.
But I mean, truly, like I love eating out, getting a drink, like that. Those are things realistically that I could peel back on. And so I did get a meal delivery kit, you know, to be like, okay, that's going to help from like a grocery standpoint. I'm really trying to limit eating out for like weekends, like Friday nights, Saturday nights, maybe Sundays too. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to make sure that that is in line. I'm like, so there's that. What else? I also haven't done a lot of like impulse buying, you know, shopping and randomly getting things that I like just see and I like. Like I have been taking that kind of sacrifice. I definitely don't want to sacrifice and get a second job. I love my free time. So that's not really a sacrifice that I want to make. But I have driven Lyft for like 6 weeks or whatever the little trial period was for you to get whatever bonus they would give you if you made X amount of rides when you first signed up. Whatever deal they had back in like 2016 when I signed up for that was nice. It was not nice. I did not enjoy it. Yeah, the braids, the clothes. I mean, we didn't move this year. That was a sacrifice. I did not want to pay for moving people, and I did not want to up my rent. So I sacrificed that to be more financially comfortable. Yeah. I already don't do coffees and things like that people say, you got to stop having coffee in Starbucks and things like I'm not.
That's
really
what I had to do. I literally started doing this like delivery, like matcha situation. And I probably saved like a good $200 just because of how much I actually was going to Starbucks. Like it was bad. Okay. To those that do Starbucks, you get stars. You get $1 for every star. You may get bonus points. You might get double points depending on the day and what you buy. Every month I had racked up at least 400 points and I was always getting a free item. I always had a free item a month and I was racking that shit up. Every time I got a paycheck, I would load my card with like $50 and probably load it 2 more times that month. It was bad.
That's wild to me. But I mean, I'm studying. So you drinking coffee, I'm taking myself out to eat, and this is where we at.
But it's hard because sometimes you want to keep up with the Joneses. I think or Kardashians, like we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
I think Instagram doesn't really help with that either. You know, they always giving something for your girl to buy. There's always a new place to go and eat, and they always catfishing you. So it's hard.
I mean, even from the fact of like, dang, I wore this outfit before. I can't post it on Instagram. I need a new outfit. I got to have a new fit. So, like, even to that degree.
It'd be killing me. It's killing me balls. But yeah, I don't know. Do you want to go ahead and move into our, what would you like to call this segment? Or what do you want?
Well, you also make comments on like pressures that exist to spend. You're talking about social media and like societal expectations, like sometimes having FOMO. Like I'm just like, ooh, everyone's going to this concert. Should I pay to go to this concert knowing good and well, Erica, that you don't enjoy concerts? Like I'm like, I don't. Sometimes I feel like, oh, I should go because everyone's about to go and they're all going to have a great time and everyone's going to be there and all my friends and, you know, I'll just watch them on social media. But, you know, you have to not let the FOMO win. You have to make decisions for yourself. Like, am I truly going to enjoy the experience or am I just going to be sad that they're going to have something to talk about that I can't contribute to the conversation? Like, really think about those things.
I literally am like, dang, I hope that I can go ahead. It is so dark right now, but
it's getting late.
I know. The sun is setting. I got to get this ring light. But I think the thing is, there's that FOMO. There's opportunities for, you know, connection and intimacy, like you talked about earlier this episode. And there's a possibility of missing out on that. You know, I ain't gonna lie. I used to be the person where I gotta go because I don't need y'all talking about me when I'm not there. But I've gotten over that part. It was more so because my thing is, if I'm a topic of conversation, it's the topic of conversation. But also, I had to realize, Jack, ain't nobody thinking about you like that.
But I was like,
relax, ho. You cool, but you ain't scandalous, okay? Like you ain't doing no wild shit out here. But it was also a thing of like, dang, like I want to be with my folks. I want to be with my people, you know? But that's just my thoughts on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, your friends can definitely be a source of pressure. I mean, you were kind of talking about your haters a little bit. So let's keep that in mind. But I think that like your friends could be like a source of pressure because, I mean, similar to the concert thing, like you just want to be around them. You just want to like hang out, even though you know you should potentially be saving some more money. But you know, maybe your friend group is like, I'm going to Brazil. You want to come? And you're like, yeah. Or
One
even
of
at
my
simple,
friends, like they were going to go to Jamaica for their birthday, 30th birthday. They were also going to go to Cabo. And I was just like, I can't do none of that this year. I can't. I'm sad. And it's like, and it's funny because they always see me going. This is the year I have to sit my ass down because it's cool. Like, because I was always going. I was like, yes, I have money. Let's go. Oh, if I buy this ticket this way and then I put this on my credit card, I could pay this off by the time we go on the trip and I can have a good time. You know, like I can't do it now. Not this year. This is over.
yeah. No, for real. So yeah, I think that those are some of the pressures for sure. Like like you're saying, keeping up with the Kardashians. Okay. So
Kardashians.
hmm and that even is like I'm saying, like the apartment, like everything, how it looks, like is that me, the car that you drive, right? Like you don't want nobody to think anything or say anything about you. So are you keeping up, you know, appearances and spending more money than you actually have? So
I'll say for me, like I always used to be like, well, it's better than what I used to have, so fuck it. But then I also had to realize like I have some other things I got to work on, like discipline and keeping up with myself and prioritizing myself first. Because I would enjoy my situation more if I just sat the fuck down and worked on it. Because the journey to get to where I want to go is part of the fun. So
say that again.
the journey to get where you got to go is part of the fun. I don't know if I said it exactly like that, but the journey is supposed to be an experience. Because once you make it to your destination, you look around and be like, well, where the hell have I been? You know? So right now, because I pay, you know, I have a very cheap rent right now. And yeah, the AC wants to do what it wants to do during the summertime. But at the end of the day, my apartment isn't bad. I just need to go ahead and put more emphasis into decorating and also being prepared for guests. You know, this is my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm. You're right, and that's why it has me on gratitude. Like, if you have a negative attitude, you're actually going to repel the things that you actually want. So if you're like so grateful for the things that you have, people just want to give you more. To be honest, the universe is going to want to give you more. Like attracts like, right? So if you are happy and whatever, like other similar things on that vibration are going to float near you. If you are in a negative doom and gloom and that's all you resonate, you know, like only like that negativity is going to really kind of gravitate towards you. So I like that. I appreciate that. So we've been chatting for a little minute. And so like we typically do, we're just going to end our episodes with a little some, just advice. So do you have any advice you'd like to share with the folk on our topic, money related?
I know the pressures to do everything is hectic, but you got to realize you're the one that has to sit with your bank account. You're the one that has to sit with your life. There's nothing wrong with sitting down for a little while. Take it from me. It sucks right now to know I can't really do much of anything, but knowing that I'm graduating in May, and then after that, we're going to move on up. Sacrifice now and enjoy and relax later.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, Jackie, why is mine so similar? One of the big tips that I got when I became a full-time worker in this ghetto universe is to make the sacrifices now for your future self. And so in regards to like investing in your retirement fund, be sure to do that. Do not leave money on the table. A lot of organizations, as a part of their benefits packages and offerings, they have matches, whether they are matching dollar for dollar, whether they are matching 25 cents to every dollar you contribute, right? Whatever that match is, up to a certain percentage, you should take advantage of that. Otherwise, you are leaving free, so to speak, money on the table. And so make sure that you put in your 6%. That's a typical competitive amount. Like, contribute your 6% so that the company can match that 6%, right? And do that as early as possible, because don't nobody ever want to stop receiving money, right? So like, if you never decide to take that amount and put it away out of your paycheck right away, and you see, oh my gosh, every paycheck, I'm making up numbers. Every paycheck I get $1,000. That's so amazing. Like, that's nice. And then all of a sudden you're 30 and you're just like, oh, I should start saving for retirement. Let me take 6% of that $1,000 away now. No, you was enjoying living your life on that $1,000. You should have just started from the beginning to save that 6%. Hopefully you're getting more and more money, but it's still going to take a certain percentage away. But start that early, because yeah, you are, one, giving that money to yourself, just you're not getting it right now. So that money is for you. It's just for the future you. And two, it's going to be a lot easier to live your life with money that you've never had than to take that away in the future. So that's my guidance that I have.
I know that's right. Start now. Enjoy later. All right. Well, that has been our episode. It had a lot of technical difficulties. I was very irritated. I don't know what I'm going to listen to when I hear shit back. It's just going to be so aggy. But I appreciate y'all for bearing with us if you're still here.
We definitely appreciate you. Hopefully it's just some light comedy of us talking to ourselves, and y'all are just like, the audio is fine. Or Jackie puts some great magic into her editing skills so that the audio is fine. And hopefully all these comments, you're just like, what the frick are you talking about? If you're on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed all of it. So with that, we're actually making this episode right before Halloween. So if y'all are like, why are these hosts so sexy? It's because we are going to put on our actual Halloween costumes.
I'm mad you dated this episode. I was like, dang, why you tell them that? It's like, now.
Cut it out then.
Okay.
Cut it out.
If you're
wondering why we look sexy, it's because we always look sexy. Period. So with that, I'm going to see y'all hoes looking this fine next time, or not. Fine from my spirit.
I love you. You're so funny. You're like, I'm over this shit. Get me out of here. All right, guys. Follow us on @JustExtra_podcast on Instagram. Also on TikTok, @JustExtra_podcast. I don't know if you heard that car in the background.
I heard the car and didn't hear any of the things you were talking about all episode, but I heard that.
Irritated. Okay. Okay. Follow us on @JustExtra_podcast on all platforms. That includes Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And follow me at All Things J, Jay on Instagram, and your girl Erica at Erica_stay ready.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.